Greetings, villains, vigilantes, heroes, and heroines.
You're tuned in to Project SuperVillain. We're your hosts. I'm ArcDrifter.
I'm Killboss.
And today we're back with some more games. 5 new ones for the month of May. And these games are all really awesome because we're starting to see some really terrific games come out in the next little bit. This is the point of the year where the good ones start to show up. So anyways, guys, hit the subscribe button if you're new and you like this kind of content. And let's just hop into it. Number 5, Subnautica Below Zero. Okay, so this game is obviously already been out for a while. Below Zero specifically has been in early access since I think 2019 actually, but it's finally going to be fully released on May 14th on Steam, Epic Games, Xbox Series X and Xbox One, PS5, PS4, and the Nintendo Switch. So the whole shebang. It's going to be everywhere.
And bringing us this wonderful little gem of a horror game. Oh, well, sorry, it's a horror game for me, actually. This kind of stuff terrifies me. But it's Unknown Worlds Entertainment. They are developing and publishing this game. So it is a tried and true indie game, indie development studio, which is always awesome to see them produce such high-quality content because Subnautica in general gets just raving reviews for it. And I think that Below Zero is going to be the same thing, especially with all the fan input they could get from early access. Good stuff. It is a first-person action-adventure survival kind of game. You know, you'll be building and crafting things to kind of stay afloat on the ocean and to survive, building different vehicles to traverse it, go into deeper and deeper depths and find exactly what you need to survive. And I don't know, do you get the hell out of there?
Well, actually, not really. Typically, I think your goal is to try and escape this place, but that was in the first one anyways. I didn't beat the first game. I really enjoyed it, but I'm also excited to try this one out too. Honestly, I'm probably got to hop into it considering how terrified he is of the sea.
I have thalassophobia, like big time.
We're going in.
We're going in.
There's some really, really cool things in that ocean, man. You've got, like, giant sea creatures trying to kill you. And there's multiple different ways to play. You can play on like a survival mode, kind of like Minecraft, where you have the option to play with enemies killing you or not. The difference here is the enemies are always there, they just don't kill you in the peaceful mode. But I don't prefer to play that way. I think the best way to play is on survival mode.
There's danger.
Exactly. You got some stuff to worry about. I mean, it is a little bit annoying to worry about eating and drinking and stuff, which is something you have to worry about in this game, but I can deal with it. It's a really, really cool game, and I think everybody should take a look at some gameplay if they're interested in the underwater and the unknown.
So, like the last game, it will also feature the large open world that we're all used to, and of course there's going to be a lot to explore. You'll be scanning different things, you know, to learn about them, creating tools, like we said, creating vehicles, ways to traverse and survive. But one thing I wasn't too familiar with was actually the plot of the game. Apparently it's supposed to be very interesting and thought-provoking.
Yeah, even in the first game, there's actually a hidden gem of plot and story in this game. So it appears they are continuing that in Subnautica Below Zero. So there's lots to learn and uncover about the story of your character and what happened on this planet that you're on.
Crazy.
It's not Earth.
It's kind of like Outer Wilds vibes.
Exactly. Which is another cool game you should check out if you haven't heard of that one. Anyways, let's move on.
Number 4, Hood, Outlaws and Legends. So everyone's familiar with Robin Hood, I take it. This is basically taking like the dark fantasy twist on all of those tales. So you've got Hood, Outlaws and Legends coming out on May 10th. That's another one that's coming up real soon here. Will be coming out on Steam, Epic, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PS5, and PS4. So you can even get a little bit of last-gen action in there. Being developed by Sumo Digital and published by Focus Home Interactive. Usually when I've seen Focus Home Interactive on a product, it's been a good one, and from all the pre-release material we've seen for this game so far, it looks like really hype. So
yeah, this game surprised me. I wasn't, when I saw the title of it, I didn't get too excited or anything, but when I looked at the gameplay, that's when I was like, wow, this is actually something unique and really cool, so let's just get into that. It's a third-person action game with a focus on stealth, a big focus on stealth, and it's also a PvPvE game, which means you're going to be fighting other players, and obviously a lot of AI-controlled enemies are in this game too.
Yep.
It's got this like 4v4 style to it, and it's got like a heist-heavy focus where it's almost like Payday combined with a couple other games. It's really, really cool, and I'm honestly interested to try it out myself. The AI looks to be no joke in this game. It's powerful, competent, and especially the sheriff, which apparently is an unkillable enemy himself, and he is also capable of one-shotting you. So apparently you just got to steer clear of him, except for the fact that he has a key that you need. So
good luck steering clear of the sheriff, because you are going to need that key. That's the whole point of the game. The first, it's kind of like a three-phase sort of thing. First phase is both teams trying to find the sheriff, track him down, and steal the key without alerting him or being caught. Secondly, whoever has the key will then move to the vault and steal the chest, at which point the guards will be informed, and so will the other team, that you have the chest. And
Phase
they will,
2.
That's right, that's phase 2. They will go on the hunt for you. And also, if you get caught in that mode, the entire map goes into a map-wide lockdown, and things will become a whole lot more difficult for you from there on out. Which finally brings us to Phase 3. If you do manage to get the chest back to the extraction point without being caught, you will then have to defend the extraction point as you extract the chest from that area. And basically, that's one player, getting the chest the hell out of there, and the other 3 of them defending him while he does that. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting gameplay loop. I'm really looking forward to see how that turns out, because it's very Payday-esque, that exact same loop, but now with the added threat of having real thinking people coming after you, trying to steal and undo all of your hard work.
This has got 4 classes with in-depth customization, and when I say in-depth, I really do mean in-depth. There's like hundreds of ways to customize your guy with different variable perks, but they all base off of the 4 main classes here. So I'll list them off. There's the Ranger class, which is like the longbow sniper guy. You get like an eagle vision. You have abilities that can blind other opponents, and you also get an ultimate attack. Each class gets an ultimate attack. This one gets a big giant arrow that shoot from far away that does massive damage. So there's another class that's the Hunter class, and they're like the assassin from Assassin's Creed. They get an arm-bladed crossbow, actually, so they can assassinate from any direction, whereas I guess the other guys, you can only assassinate from behind.
Yeah.
These guys can come up from the front and just stab you in the face, essentially. So they get lots of stealth abilities, and that's kind of their playstyle. Their ultimate makes them completely invisible.
That's pretty rad. There's also the Brawler, which is like the melee combat specialist. He's got a giant hammer, can open heavy doors with that son of a bitch. He does have an ultimate as well, of course, Wrath, which is essentially his Berserker mode. So you just get to kill shit in a blind red rage the entire time. Then on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, there's the Mystic class, which is basically the healer or the support class for the game. They get a flail. It looks like it's on fire. That's going to be like really fun. I might even just play as a healer so I can whack people in the face with that.
That looks a lot of fun. Each class has a lot of character to them, and like I said, very in-depth customization past that. So once you pick the class that you want, you're gonna have lots of different options past that to further individualize your character. So that is Hood, Outlaws and Legends. Again, May 10th. Go check that out. I think we will probably check it out if we have the opportunity. I know there's lots of really cool games coming really soon, but this one is definitely high up on the list for us.
Absolutely. Number 3, Biomutant.
So, May 25th, we've got Steam, Epic, Xbox One, PS4. This is kind of a last-gen game. It didn't quite make it to the new gens.
It was supposed to come out in 2018.
Yeah, it's been a long time in development, but they finally kicked it out. Experiment 101 finally got it done. And
they didn't pull a Cyberpunk either.
And it looks really cool. It does look like it's a well-done game, judging from gameplay.
Yeah.
I mean, we were fooled with Cyberpunk, but we'll see about this one. I don't get the
The
same
thing
vibe.
is, they delayed the game so long and they didn't pretend that it was ready to come out.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we will see when it comes out, of course, but I mean, looks pretty solid.
Yeah, and it was published by THQ Nordic, as you can see on the screen there. So this game's really cool. It's like a post-apocalyptic kung fu RPG.
Yes.
You get insane customization. Your character, when you start off, you get to like fully morph their head. You can be whatever kind of like creature you want to be, essentially. And it caters to several different play styles. So it's from action-oriented to more of a stealth focus. you get lots of different options there.
The developers of this game were actually talking about all the things that had inspired them while creating it. So, like, they were thinking of vibes like Kung Fu Panda. We got a little bit of DMC action in there, some Arkham games, even taking some inspiration from Ratchet and Clank, supposedly. So that's really awesome. And looking at the combat in the game, you can tell it just looks like fast-paced, like Devil May Cry. It's very action-focused. Total hack-and-slash beat-em-up combat. Super awesome. Looks satisfying as hell. I can't wait to get my hands on that and give that a try because I love that kind of shit. So, of course, there are different classes, and those classes that you choose will affect, of course, your stats, but you can also acquire different mutations and upgrades, and those will give you a lot of powers and buffs to your stats and things like that. They will also affect your appearance, and so will the tribes that you join, actually. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the tribes entail entirely, if it's just your allegiance or if it's more based on your skills, but those will apparently affect your appearance and stats depending on what attributes of certain tribes you have put into your character, so that's something to keep in mind too. There is a lot of customization in the way that you play and build your characters.
And to add to that, you can even learn new fighting styles as you progress. Like you said, you can mutate and stuff like that, but you could also learn different moves and different abilities later on, not even just from mutation. So there appears to be a crafting system in this game. There's crafting for melee and your ranged weapons. You can upgrade those and change them how you like. Lots of different customization options. There are certain times where you're going to have specific pieces of clothing that you're going to need to wear to get through a certain area. Like there's going to be hazards in the world, not only on enemies, but with just the world. It could be like a mist of acid fog or something like that. And you have to get proper adequate protection. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt by it, or I don't know if it's just going to kill you or mutate you. That's where I'm like, what's a bad mutation?
Right?
What's a good mutation? I'm not sure, but we'll learn more about it as time goes along here. The game's coming out really soon, like I said, May 25th, so we're going to learn more about it really, really soon. It's also got this large and diverse open world. It looks beautiful, very green, very colorful in lots of other ways too. And there's to get around this world, they give you mounts and stuff too. So I think you get vehicles. There might even be like animals you can ride around and stuff.
This game also features what seems to be a surprisingly robust dialogue and choice system. They've got like this whole karma and allegiance kind of thing going on, and it will affect what dialogue options you get and what choices you can make, or what things that you're allowed to hear, and what people will tell you and how they'll interact with you. It's actually shockingly in-depth, and that sounds really good because I didn't know that was going to be a part of this game. Their script apparently went from like 80,000 words to over 200,000, so like a lot of that was adding in all these different features and plot paths and all that kind of stuff, so that is really cool to hear that we've got that coming.
Yeah, and like when we saw a trailer for this game in 2018, it was looking a lot different from what it is now.
Yes.
You saw like just this one dude take on this big enemy, and you know, like we had to go from there with our own brains to try and figure out what the hell is going on. But now they've really given us a lot of information on it, and we actually have a release date, and it's coming. They aren't cyberpunking us.
Good to know.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Number 2, Mass Effect Legendary Edition. We're finally getting the re-release of the hit trilogy, Mass Effect. I love this game. I'm a huge fan. I'm actually one of my favorite games of all time is Mass Effect, the whole trilogy. And it's coming out May 14th, so it's going to be on Steam, Origin. What is that? What's an Origin?
EA's shitty store.
And then obviously Xbox One and PS4. So yeah, we're not going to get a release on the bigger consoles yet. I guess they just didn't. They weren't planning for that for some reason.
I guess not. That's a really weird thing.
I thought that was a little strange. You're re-releasing something, a remaster. So making a remaster, why not like wait till the next consoles come out and make it for that? I don't know. The decision making there is a little weird for me. But obviously it's made by BioWare and published by EA, so we know what to expect with them these days. So, I mean, the obvious thing to talk about is the visual upgrade. That's what a remaster is. We're going to see upgrades to not only the graphics, but load times, mechanics, so like the AI won't just charge straight at you apparently. You're gonna have them hide behind cover and stuff like you would expect. Like the first game was really messy, guys, so a lot of things from Mass Effect 1 are getting fixed, which is really cool to see and hear, because I love Mass Effect 1, but damn, playing that game now is rough. It did not age well. So,
unfortunately.
Exactly. We tried to play it on stream not that long ago. It did not go well. But, oh man, those are some fun glitches. Yeah, that. that. The eyes were popping out of skulls. It was great. Some much needed improvement to Mass Effect 1. The other two games will get a little bit of an upgrade as well. Definitely noticeable, but it's not going to be as intense as the first one.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, beyond some of the, like, visual elements and the load times, other things that they are improving, there will be no more class-based weapon restrictions, which will be nice. You can just pick up guns and start to use them. They're also improving the inventory system. The UI is getting some tweaks. They got a bunch of glitch and bug fixes coming up because, games that are that big, they are bound to have tons of bugs, glitches, all kinds of other things, abnormalities that you don't want in there.
This is stuff you'd expect them to fix.
This is what you'd want them to do, but they don't always do this kind of stuff.
I know.
So it's good that they're actually going to go through and make sure it's up to a more modern standard. Auto-saving's more frequent. There's more balance, actually, between the Renegade and Paragon systems, which apparently is actually going to be a really good thing.
Yeah, because if you were to want to get the full Renegade options by the end of the game, you had to be a full Renegade. You couldn't make good choices ever. Like, it was always, you had to make those bad choices. Like, they aren't bad choices, they're just edgy, you know what I mean? But you had to go one way or the other, and there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now you have a little bit more freedom, and you can go like partially Renegade, maybe making a couple Paragon options here and there, but still being able to do the things that a Renegade would be able to do by the end of the game, which start to unlock as you do more Renegade things.
Yes.
So that is going to be a really nice improvement. Another thing is you have the ability to import your appearance settings from the previous games, which never saw that coming. I didn't expect them to do that, but they did, and you can actually pull your old save file stuff and grab your old character, which I honestly don't think I'm going to do. I played this game like 10 years ago, and I feel like I can make a better character now. I don't know. It's just
like, here, you want your shitty shepherd from grade 7?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Like, other people played this when they were an adult, like you're supposed to, but
yeah, exactly.
Anyways,
not us.
Yeah, I was playing this when I was too young, probably. But anyways, that's a nice little feature that they're adding, which is pretty cool. They aren't going to be adding multiplayer, which, I mean, for the third game, I guess it would be a bit of a surprise because people are still playing that to this day. But the other two games, yeah, the multiplayer, nobody's really going to miss it that much. And even the third one, like, this isn't what it's about. Mass Effect is about its story. The multiplayer was always an extra.
Another thing that they have rebalanced in this game is the galactic readiness, so you won't actually have to play the multiplayer modes to get the best ending as you would have had to in the original version of Mass Effect 3.
Really stupid.
Yeah, that is just kind of like doesn't make much sense, but hey, they took it out because they realized that, many years later after the fact, so at least they did that. Yeah, all of the DLC will be included as well, except for one single piece of DLC. What was it? Something Station? Pinnacle Station?
Yeah, I don't remember which one it was. It was, if you want to look it up yourself, look it up. It's just one it's because...
It's one that won't be missed. Like, don't worry.
Exactly. It wasn't a very significant one. What's going to be missed a little bit more is the angles of Miranda's ass that are being taken out. I'm just going to be blunt and honest. That was a really weird decision to take those out. I get it, but I don't think anybody complained about those.
I don't think anybody complained. I don't even think anybody really cared. They were just like, oh, an ass.
Nice. Miranda does have a nice ass, and I'm not going to, deny that, but at the end of the day, this isn't a decision that's going to really impact anybody seriously. It's funny to see the community go crazy about it, but yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Some people have lost their minds. And
I'm not buying this game! Okay, relax.
And generally, we're just going to see some PC improvements across the board when it comes to controls and controller compatibility and frame rates and resolutions, all that fun stuff. It gets a little bit technical. It's not super important, but it's good for those people that want to indulge in that and who actually care about those things. Functionality is one thing, but, then all the dressing on top is just for show. So it's good to know that those little elements are getting tweaks as well.
Let's move on to the last one. Just kidding. It's our honorable mention. Resident Evil Verse. Or Reverse. What is it supposed to be? So I actually don't know what the title of this is. Is it just Reverse? What do you
Reverse!
Know? Reverse.
Yeah.
Anyway, May 7th, it's coming out with the release of Resident Evil 8, which I'm sure you figured out is our number one. No spoiler.
Spoiler
yeah,
alert.
Frick. It's coming out on Steam, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PS5, and PS4 alongside the game itself. But this is going to be like a spin-off thing, and we figured we'd throw it as our honorable mention because there's a little bit more to talk about than what we'd like to talk about in Resident Evil 8. And you know what? It's just like a dumb PvP game. Obviously, it's made and published by Capcom, just like Resident Evil Village is going to be. We're going to say all this stuff again. But anyways, this game is really, really stupid looking, but also really fun looking. I don't know.
It's like simple, goofy fun. There's no. It's just a death match between all of the Resident Evil characters. You start as a human, you collect some virus samples, and if you got enough of them when you die, you turn into a really awesome BOW. If you don't got enough of them when you die, you turn into a shitty BOW, and that's just kind of how it works. You can be a hunter or you can be Nemesis. So you better drink all of the T-virus.
Yeah, go find it and drink it all.
That's literally what this is. It's the characters of Resident Evil doing the thing that they would never do in the actual games. Yeah. They're like fucking just.
It's a 5-minute death match. That's it. 5 minutes, kill each other. You start off as humans, you kill someone, they turn into a BOW, and then they have obviously more powers to kill you, so you better run away at that point.
They just, that's it.
You know what? Like, it looks pretty fun. We might try it, because we're going to be getting Village, which, like, let's just move on to that one, because, like, that's what we really want to talk about.
We want to talk about Village, like, right now. Number 1, Resident Evil 8 Village. Yeah, so, I mean, Resident Evil 8 Village, of course, this is going to be our most anticipated release for May. We're huge Resident Evil nerds around here. We definitely want to get our hands on this shit, and you can too on May 7th. It's coming to Steam, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PS5, and PS4. So again...
Did you say Penis 5? It sounded like I think he said he said Penis 5.
I said Penis 5?
Anyways...
It's probably because I was thinking about dick.
Capcom published and developed this, obviously, and this is a few years after Resident Evil 7. This is taking place, and you're following Ethan Winters still, and so apparently you went off and had a family with Mia and the little baby, and Chris is like, yo, fuck that. This is mine, and he takes your kid.
It's mine now.
That's all you. That's my pop.
I'm bringing it to Romania.
Okay, well, I'm taking yours.
Okay. Where are you bringing it? California?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just staying here because we have to finish this video.
Okay.
So yeah, you're in some sort of like remote European village. It looks like in
possibly Romania.
In the dead of Ethan Winter time.
Ah!
And shut up! It was supposed to be a sly joke that nobody caught. There's werewolves. There's vampires. There's sexy vampires. There's a crazy cult, and you have to save your daughter. So have fun.
That sounds like a fucking adventure, like
party.
For real, a party. So just like the previous game, it looks like the modern Resident Evil titles are sticking with the first-person perspective, which I am okay with. You give me Resident Evil in third or first person, I'm gonna play it. That is totally fine. This game does look like it has slightly more of a combat focus. Again, it takes a lot of pages from Resident Evil 4's book, so we're gonna reference that a lot here. But it does have slightly more of a combat focus, it seems. There do seem to be a lot of improvements when it comes to the gunplay and weapons and how you use them, which is okay. I mean, I'm fine as long as they keep it with the survival elements too. Like, it's not just, you know, easy fucking kill everything that moves kind of thing, like just guns blazing all the time. I'm fine with that. You keep it in that horror realm and we're good. But they also are going to be bringing back the inventory system from Resident Evil 4, so that's a welcome return, because I always wondered why an egg takes up the same space as an AK-47, so I'm glad to see that, yeah, we're actually getting a inventory system that makes a lot of sense. Was waiting for them to return to that. And also returning from Resident Evil 4 is the Merchant, or the Duke, so, you know, you will be spending currency from the enemies that you drop, you'll pick that up from them, then you'll get access to the shop and the gunsmithing, you can buy supplies, and you can even buy upgrades from him.
They're also going to be adding hunting to the game, which I thought was a kind of a cool and weird addition. I didn't expect that, but you're going to be able to kill animals and gather their meat so you can eat it later, or trade it into the Duke for upgrades, apparently. So that's pretty cool. This is going to be a weird system that you, I guess, won't be too familiar with this, because they had the Duke in Resident Evil 4, right? I didn't.
Well, his name wasn't the Duke; it was just the Merchant.
They had a Merchant in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
So that's the one I didn't play. Sadly, you played that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Alright, well, we don't know much more about the game, as we are actually trying to keep it a secret for ourselves. Really excited to play it ourselves. We're going to be playing it on our channel. We're doing a Let's Play of it. We do a Let's Play of all of our Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
So we're excited for this one, and we didn't want to spoil it too much for ourselves. But this is kind of the gist of it. There's one more announcement about this, too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so the last thing that we have to talk about that is returning from previous Resident Evil games is the Mercenaries mode. So a lot of people were happy to see that coming back, because it is a bit of a fan favorite. It's not always been my favorite mode, but I do enjoy it. I know lots of other people are super hardcore into that, so it's coming back. They've got some reworked mechanics, some different things. It seems like you'll be getting some special abilities, and there's an item shop. The only thing is, it doesn't seem like right now that there are multiple characters to play as from the rest of the universe, but still, the mode's coming back. Let's see how it is when the game launches.
Well, you won't have to wait too much longer, guys, because May 7th is coming up really soon, and we're going to get our hands on this game ASAP.
Hells yeah. So that's it, guys. That is our top 5 games for May. Those are all coming out very soon, so I'm sure that some of you have seen some games that you definitely want to get your hands on in there. Make sure you go check it out, see what stores they're available on. I doubt you'll want to miss a single one of those releases.
So if you guys enjoyed this content, make sure, again, you subscribe. We appreciate that. Leave a like. We got lots of other cool content on our channel, including this. We do this stuff once a month. So guys, if you enjoy this type of content, make sure you subscribe. We appreciate that. Leave a like. We actually do this type of stuff once a month. So last month we reviewed 5 games that were being released. And some of them were pretty cool, and some of them turned out to be garbage, but that did not change our perspective at the time. We were still excited for them.
Yeah, well, that's what happens, right? You get excited.
At you, Outriders.
Yeah, you get excited, and then it's just like, oh, that reality happened. Fuck.
But anyways, guys, we digress. We will be back next month with more of this stuff, so if you like it, feel free to come back again or subscribe. Like I said, it keeps you notified if you hit the notification bell as well. Sometimes, anyways, YouTube's stupid, but you know how it is. That's going to be it for today's video, though, guys.
Okay, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching.
Check you later. Peace out.
Peace out.